Some of you going to sleep and you don't deserve rest. You lazy, you don't deserve rest. Rest is for people who work. You ain't doing nothing. Every day you chilling. You only go to sleep when you've done something.
Your ego's a liar. Your ego's digging a grave of comfort. A grave of comfort that you're gonna crawl into voluntarily, where you get buried and you can't move anymore. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't accept that whatever's going on is your fault.
You just can't do what you in love with, what you interested in. Sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do so you can live like you want to live. So if it's going to help you reach your goal, even if you don't like it, do it anyway.
What's your why? You need a why. Why do you need a why? Because some days you're going to look at that alarm clock and it's going to say 6, and 6 is the time you wake up, and you're going to look again, it's going to say 6:05, and you're going to say, I don't want to get up. But that why is going to say, push yourself, get up. Your mama needs you. Your daddy needs you. Your children need you. Get up. Your why is going to push you when you can't push yourself. When you want to quit and give up, your why is going to give you that edge you need, that advantage you need to make you believe again, to make you get up when you got up 3 times and you say, I'm not getting up no more. Your why. You don't get here by quitting when you tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you done. You don't stop when you tired. You stop when you done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Execution is worship. And so I execute for my mom. I execute for my grandma. I execute for my sister. That's why I can't quit and give up, even though I get tired just like everybody else.
I need you to eat the dream. I need you to sleep the dream. I need you to talk the dream. Because some days you're not going to feel like getting up. Some days you're not going to feel like keep going. And the dream is going to push you. You a beast until it's uncomfortable. You a beast when the weather is right. You a beast when coach tell you to do something that you're comfortable with. You a beast when you play in your position. You a beast when everything is going right. But sometimes stuff start happening where it's uncomfortable and you start to break, you start to bend, you start to fold. You gotta learn to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. It ain't always gonna be the way you like it. It's not always gonna be comfortable. The conditions ain't always gonna be perfect. But if you want this, if you really want this, you gotta learn to sacrifice. You gotta learn to give up to go up. To be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. I need you to get up and I need you to work like your professor is grading your paper. I need you to work like you got an examination. I need you to work like you're trying to get credit. I need you to work like you're trying to graduate. I need you to put in that work and put in that time. And I need you to outwork everybody. Every single day when I wake up, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, I have an opportunity. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity I have to reprove myself again. Because the day you become convinced.
Success is like a quiet daily set of tasks. Real small. It's like that quiet walk to the gym. Some empty ass gym late at night, over and over and over. Or as I sit there studying other great people and then comparing it with what I'm doing and looking at it over and over and over. Doing 20 minutes of quiet meditation a day, over and over and over. Making the choice to eat foods that enhance my brain neurotransmitters over and over and over. It's a very quiet process where you're just drawing your state from within yourself, doing these like simple little tasks, but finding love in those simple little tasks. It's not this big rah-rah speech where you do this one thing and something big happens.
When we look at the leading sales professionals of the world, when we look at the best business people, we say she's gifted, she's smarter than me, she just somehow knows more than me, she's got a better education, she had an easier background, she got lucky. You've heard the cliche because it's true. The harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft. I had burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. Sharing in my books and speaking is my oxygen, it's my DNA. 4 in the morning I get up and I'm working in my craft because I love it. I love it.
The process is just as important as the actual prize because the process is going to make you, the deeper the process, greater the reward. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work because he loves the process.
Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it.
The 9-to-5 person, they make a sale and they're excited. When you get to my level and you get one thing, you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level. A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter to hunt. That's what they live for. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. I understand it is in the process that you get better. It's in the process that don't nobody know your name, and 5 years later, you're one of the best in the world. Why? The process. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm broke. Then why do you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Because I ain't finished yet.
The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth.
Make it. Life is hard, man. That's what it's about. Life is a challenge. If you don't work as hard as you can, if you don't sacrifice everything, if you don't get rejected and keep coming back for more, if you don't get your loyalty tested and your faith tested, you don't love that thing if you bail out. So if you fought through all that, that's love.
Your greatest moment, your greatest hour will be right after your worst hour of despair. Because in that worst hour of despair, who are you? Who's talking inside? Is there anything left? You're at the bottom of the barrel. No place to go but up. That's the voice that carries your weak ass and everyone said goodbye to and left. To get the fuck up finally tells them fortitude. Stand back up in a cloudy day until the sun comes out. That is your finest hour.
Listen to me, everybody. You can't give up. You can't give in. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
I had no advantages. But I woke up one day and realized all men are created equal. I don't need none. I'm my advantage. You your advantage. Why are you waiting for somebody to call you? Why are you waiting for somebody to affirm you? Why are you waiting for somebody to tell you got a dream or go? Why are you waiting for somebody to take you by your hand and give you what's rightfully yours? However much money you make, whatever kind of life you have, that's yours. And so when I speak to you, I speak from the pain of taking 12 years to get a 4-year degree. I speak to you as a failure who had to get back up every single doggone time and say, brush it off and keep going. And so I've been through what you've been through, and I got up and I kept going. It is the size of the fight in the dog. I ain't smart. I ain't never got all A's. I ain't never graduated top of my class. I ain't never been the man, but I got heart. I got will, and I go take everything I want and can't nobody stop me. Bring on the fight. And I'll match your intensity. I will match your fight, and you will not outlast me.
You know what I ask myself when going through pain? What if I can do it? What if I can defy all the odds? What if I can prove everyone wrong? What if I can pull off a fucking miracle? What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just the thought of that can give you the strength to pull yourself out of the gutter and back in the fight one more time.
When you're committed, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. You don't care about the opinions of others. The only thing you care about is making it through to the other fucking side. No matter what it takes. You just gotta keep searching, keep fighting, keep hammering, keep failing, keep trying, keep getting back up again, and stop at nothing to reach it.
I will never quit, because if you quit, you're done. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I will be physically harder and mentally stronger than anything that comes against me, my family, my business, my brothers, my sisters, my team. I will be the one that is physically harder and mentally stronger, and I will work to maintain that position. You have got to make a decision in your life. You have got to make decisions about your business. You have got to make decisions about your kid, because you know what? Your only other option is to crouch in stagnant fear like a coward and potentially die, and potentially put the lives of everyone who depends on you in jeopardy. And the reason that Chad Wright is sitting here right now talking to you is because Chad Wright mustered whatever strength that he had left to claw his way back onto his freaking feet and pony up, that no matter how many times I was knocked down, that I would muster enough strength to get back on my feet and get in the fight.
The battle is actually in your head. You're not going to hear noises. You're not going to hear gunfire. You're not going to hear any explosions. It's not that kind of battle. What's in your head is weakness and laziness, and they're not attacking. They're sneaking around. They're poisoning the strength in your brain.
You are putting things off because in the short term, it's easier, it's more comfortable, it's more pleasurable to be distracted or to indulge yourself doing something else than it is to sit down and do the actual work to create the outputs that matter when they are needed.
And I know what it's like to tell yourself, I'm going to start on Monday.
And then for the next 5 days, you gorge yourself, or you're extra lazy, or you treat yourself extra much because you know you're gonna do it this time, and this time I'm serious, and this time I'm for real, and I'm gonna get it done. Except you're not, and you know you're not. And if you really want it to change, and if you really want to make a change, and you really want to be different, and you really want it to be this time, start f***ing now. I don't care if it's 9 o'clock at night. Do something productive towards what it is you're trying to become. Because I can tell you right now, for sure, that the people who tell themselves, I'm going to start Monday, never f***ing start Monday.
All you have to do to kill procrastination is just start. You just go, and procrastination dies. So don't wonder how you overcome procrastination. It's easy. All you do to overcome procrastination is go.
Stop waiting for something to move you and move yourself. Every day, move yourself. In the morning, move yourself. In the afternoon, move yourself. At night, move yourself. Be very intentional and very deliberate about moving yourself. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. You push you. You gotta move you every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Nothing controls you. You control your feelings. You control your mood. Nobody control your mood. You saw something that threw you off. Well, see something that throw you back on.
Little things you're putting off, do it. And do it right now. When you make a decision to do something, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to do it. You don't have to know how to do it. You only have to know you're going to do it.
There's always going to be a reason to wait. There's always going to be something that is inconvenient for you to work through. There's always going to be a busy schedule. It's always going to be that way. You have to fucking work through it. There's always going to be a reason for you to do what it takes now if you want it bad enough. But a lot of you motherfuckers just don't want it. Unless you're committed 100%, you just aren't going to make it. The processes of success are always inconvenient in the beginning. They don't stay that way. If you stick with it, if you give it time, if you work through the inconveniences, they become habit. It's just something automatic. And if you can create automatic actions that are positive in your life, you're going to create automatic winning.
I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy, not the smartest guy, but I will work, and I will work hard. I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it, and I recommend that you do the same.
People always say, you gotta love the work. You gotta love what you do. You don't have to love what you do. You gotta be addicted to what you do. You gotta be addicted to winning. You cannot work short hours. You gotta work long hours. You gotta work smarter, and you gotta work fucking harder. It's the work that you put in, the time and effort, the dedication, the hours that nobody else saw here, the sacrifices. You have to be disciplined. You have to be obsessive. You have to be addicted to the result.
At the end of the day, the person that will surrender is the person that didn't work as hard as the other person. You got to work harder than the other person. So just when you felt like you did that last rep and your muscles are saying, I can't do no more reps, you say, yeah, you got to do one more. Because right now, while you quitting, he might be doing 5 more. While you quitting and giving up, while you saying, all right, I did enough, it's time to rest, he might just be getting in his zone.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, you're in that spot of obsession and drive.
To be the best in the world at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off.
You gotta eat it, you gotta drink it, you gotta sleep it, like it has to consume who you are. And if you're gonna be the best, the cream of the crop, if you're gonna be the apex, you gotta be it, not talk about it.
And people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. People know it.
May have seemed impossible at one time. So how did you do it? You started with a concrete vision of what you wanted and you focused on it continuously, didn't you? Wherever focus goes, energy flows. So why don't we tap into that power now for your business and life?
So many people have lost their day, and thus their week, and thus their month, and thus their year, and thus their whole life's agenda to distraction. What are some things you need to immediately stop doing in your life? Is it social media? Is it watching 7 seasons of a show every week? What do you need to stop doing to take back control of life? Also, what do you need to start doing? And what do you need to start doing every day, every week, every month, every year to be on your A game? Discipline buys you freedom to do what you want.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It is all on you.
There is no capability difference between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is they've learned to manage their state and they've learned to control their mental focus. Whatever we concentrate our focus on consistently and strive to learn from, we will get great at. I don't care what it is. If you focus on it daily and you strive to be better, you're going to make little distinctions that'll make you more and more effective every single day.
You should figure out what is it you desire in life and figure out the steps to get there and start working a plan to get there and minimizing everything else. Getting very clear on the mission, and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no.
This is the truth of success. Most people can't succeed because they can't deal with all the old motherfuckers pull them off the game plan. You're gonna have to get real fucking comfortable sticking to your own plan and telling them no when they want to go out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to win, whether it's this year or next year or fucking ever, you're gonna have to get real comfortable keeping your head on your plan and put the time into making yourself happy.
If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you got to let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Listen to me. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts. I need you to say with me, this is my mind. These are my thoughts. I control what I think. Not the circumstances, not the situations. I control what I think. I choose where I'm going. And I will use my thinking. I will use my thoughts to make the rest of my life the best of my life.
All your excuses are lies. Little lies that think makes life easier, but they don't. They're lies. They don't make life easier. It's gonna tell you nice little things to try and steer you down the wrong path. Don't listen to the lies.
And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill. You have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
Character is the ability to carry out a resolution long after the excitement of the moment is past. Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you wanna lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, and then turn around and party, get lit, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be? No. It is time to go from mediocre to meteoric. It is time to go from being counted out to being counted on.
You want to get better? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock, and find your discipline, and find your guts and your passion and your drive, and find your will. Every day is a new day, a new week, a new shot at life, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I am the aggressor. I am on the attack because I will not stop.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. There ain't no man in here okay with being just space.
The only thing that you can always 100% of the time control is the amount of effort that you put into each attempt. That you can control every single time. If you wrote that this is the class that you were signed up for, then be at every single class. Make up in your mind, I will will not miss one class. Every engagement I do, I don't care what event it is. When I show up, I'm bringing you the best version of Eric Thomas. No excuses.
As we begin to focus on developing ourselves, as we begin to elevate ourselves and not to follow the crowd, activating the thinker in us and disciplining and putting on hold the emotional part of ourselves. It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice. You'll get better and better.
You can't be average and be a legend. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be a good person and be a legend. You can't be great really and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste.
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide clubs, partying, trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly. You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. All the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie.
I'm obsessed with improvement. Every day I'm getting better. There are those of you with phones, and every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. Every piece of software, you get it. You are upgrading your technology and you've not upgraded yourself. So listen to me. There are those of you saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change. We do not retreat. We do not give up. We do not surrender. And the reason why most of you are not successful is because every single time stuff not going your way, you give up, you quit, you let go, and people feel weakness. They feel it. You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You gotta be possessed with the dream. And I dare you under every single circumstance, keep looking at your dream. Keep focusing on your dream. Keep going after the dream because that's where true success is.
People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's something, some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you. You know who's gonna bail you out? You know who's gonna come and rescue you? You know who's gonna come and save the day? No one. You have no backup. You have no reinforcements. No one's gonna come and do it for you. You're gonna have to do it all yourself.
No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. The only person that's gonna make a drastic change in your life is you. You have to do it for you.
You have to force yourself. Anything that's a break from your routine is gonna require force. And the only way you'll get it is by forcing yourself to be uncomfortable. Get out of your head. Get out of your feelings. Your feelings are screwing you. I don't care how you feel. I care about what you want. And if you listen to how you feel when it comes to what you want, you will not get it because you will never feel like it.
Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's going to have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else. They didn't have what you had. Yet now they're fucking to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out. Or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove.
Discipline is the path to freedom. Discipline is the driver of daily execution. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that hold you back. Make discipline part of your daily life, and your daily life will get better.
You need to be the master of your emotions, not let them affect you.
Discipline is something you dictate. Motivation won't make you exercise every day. Discipline will. Motivation won't stay up late and finish a project for you. Discipline will. Motivation isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Discipline will.
I see people writing on my page, oh, I listen to your videos and I get hyped. That's great. But what do you do after the 5 minutes is over? What do you do when you wake up the next day? What do you do when somebody's not there watching you? What do you do when you have to either do what it is you know you're supposed to do without somebody there to supervise you, or you get to take the play off because no one's going to know the difference? And that's discipline, to do the shit that you don't want to do because you know it needs to be fucking done.
Don't run from the difficult classes. Take them. Little pressure, little progress. Stop taking shortcuts. Stop taking the easy way. Go to the heat. Because the sooner you go to the heat, the sooner there's rain. You got to get a little bit more intense about your life. You got to stop being so casual. It's decisions we make that chase that best version of us every second, every day. Because every day alters the direction, the course of our life.
Take ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
At some point, if you live in this life, you're going to face disappointment. You're going to face defeat. You're going to face devastation.
Some bad things going to happen to you. That's life. You're going to get some setbacks. You're going to lose some loved ones.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. At some time, you are going to get tired. At some time, you're going to get in a rut. Seem like nothing you do works out right. And sometimes it just seems like you just don't have the wherewithal or the will to do anything. And depressed, feeling powerless, feeling useless. What do you do? How do you get yourself out of a rut? How do you, when you know you can do more than what you've been doing and you're not doing it and you're discontent with where you are, you get angry at yourself.
We have all these new thoughts that come about. You start saying to yourself, I'm so alone. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. I'm the only one to ever go through something like this. I'm a mess up. I'm a failure. I'd be better off not being here. Nobody would miss me. I'm all alone right now. Why would anybody care if I was gone? Here I am. I'm just alone. We just keep feeding ourselves this toxic thinking. And literally what I've learned in these moments of anxiety is that I have to stop listening to myself and I have to start talking to myself. I'm like, Rich, you're great. I'm like, look in the mirror like, you can do this. Rich, you can handle this. Rich, this is not a big deal. Rich, this is gonna pass. You're amazing. Rich, this too shall pass.
You got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it?
I am sick and tired of people coming to me saying that they had a setback. It is a part. I love the sun, but things don't grow because of the sun. You have to have some rain. And you've got to stop looking at rain in your life as something bad. Let me tell you something. My greatest moments didn't come from my greatest moments. My greatest moments came from my greatest defeats, because it was during my defeat that I had to find a way to get back up.
If you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. If your life at times feels like, looks like labor, you are doing it right. Keep on pushing. I'm telling you what, there is breakthrough coming, and when you're holding your prize, the pain and the suffering will pale in comparison. Don't give up. It will be worth it. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react.
You're gonna need some energy. You're gonna need something that's so powerful. You're gonna need something when real life happens. You're gonna need some energy that can get you going and get you through this.
And I'm telling you, the way to ignite the dream is you gotta shut out every single thing, and you gotta believe I am the greatest.
And so life normally breaks you because when it hits you, you weren't ready. But if you stay ready and you stay plugged up, when you hear bad news, it don't break you because you already energized. Today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. When you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work. So the days I want to hit that alarm clock, I think about my why. I can't stop. I can't get tired. I can't give up. I can't give in. My mama counting on me. My wife is counting on me. Listen to me. I wish I could tell you it's going to get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, the weight is going to get lighter. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you got to find something within.
Here's the truth. This is the reality. Nobody's going to believe in you until you've already done it. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long time by yourself with no applause, with no awards, with nobody telling you good job. Because if you really want motherfuckers to believe in you, go out and build something great.
Far too many of you worry way too much about other people and not enough about your fucking selves. When you spend your energy focusing on what other people are doing instead of executing on your own opportunities, you are setting yourself up to fucking fail time and time again. And this goes against what society is, right? Society is all about gossip. It's all about talk. It's all about who's doing what. And it's never about worrying about what you're doing. That's why you don't see successful people hanging out with people like that. Because they worry about their own shit, they worry about their own actions, and they worry about how they can get better at it. How about you take the time you spend gossiping and talking about and worrying about other motherfuckers and put that same time into developing yourself?
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
And you got to get to the point where there's no other human that wants your success for you more than you want it for you. In 2022, stop trying. Whatever your hand find to do, execute, execute, execute.
You have to begin to fortify yourself. You have to begin to consciously monitor your inner conversation and start talking to yourself. Start building yourself up. Sometimes the only good things you will hear about you are the things that you say to you. Start building yourself up. Start encouraging yourself. Start saying, I can do this. I can make this happen. When I start trying to convince myself I can be a businessman after flopping and failing and losing thousands of dollars and feeling stupid and dumb and having people take advantage of me because of what I didn't know, I had to talk to myself because people were saying to me that I was dumb. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I was saying, you're right, look at what I've done. I had to say, no, Les. Hey, come on, man, get yourself together. You can handle this, you just haven't figured it out yet. It's all right, this is your training period. This is the tuition you have to pay for what you don't know.
The key with me is no one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys. Motherfuckers won't outwork me. All starts with this. 2 hands, putting it to work.
You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stand. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You got to take the stairs. Y'all got to start getting gritty, man. I hate it when I see young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology got, just sitting around in this world that's been created for you that everything is instant. But if you can combine your technology with your parents and your grandparents' work ethic, you could be rich, man.
Just ask yourself this week, do people know you for your work ethic? Are people like, man, you work hard? Are people actually commenting about you showing up early and staying late? Because if they're not, you're just blending in with everybody else's work ethic. At the end of the day, talent will not win the game. It is work ethic that will win the game.
You got to get gritty, man. You got to develop some dog in you. You got to get messed up sometime. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. But in order to get the life of convenience, you got to have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
And you're always going to have haters, and haters are like, well, damn, man, how much are you going to do? Like, you do a lot of I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, you got to work every day. It doesn't end. And when it goes bad and it goes sideways, or you're coming through this injury, or people are writing you off, it should drive you.
If you're going to get it, you're going to have that dog. You got an opportunity. So here's the deal. When you have an opportunity, why would you give 80%, 70%? Why wouldn't you always give 120%? From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. Every time you practice, you don't care what the circumstances, what the situation is, every single time you give it 120%. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeed. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game.
But you can choose in the midst of all of this that's going on to be happy in spite of life's challenges. See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. Well, guess what? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. We have two primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim. I'm unstoppable. This will not get me down. You've got to make those kind of declarations to yourself.
I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass.
You must have patience and engage in consistent action. We live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where people want instant gratification. They want it right now. No, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's a system that if you work the system, it works if you work it. But make no mistake about it, it's hard. And you are the determining factor. The people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. It's you that you must take personal responsibility to make it happen. It's hard. No, easy is not an option. However, ladies and gentlemen, what you will discover is that it's worth it. Write down 5 reasons of why it is worth it for you to become a diamond, to experience that level of achievement. What is it that will give you the drive? What is it that will ignite the courage in you to get up and come back again and again and again? How is it that you would be able, what reasons that can tap into that deep down feeling that goes to your gut, that no matter how many times you get knocked down, that you're coming back?
Listen to me, this is how you do it first. Over 6-7 years ago, with no money, no human resources, no building, no funding, no support. The first thing we did was we dreamed, we wrote the dream down, we rehearsed the dream, we looked at the dream, we talked about the dream, we slept with the dream, we woke up to the dream, we wore the dream, and now boom, it's our reality. And for some of you, you stop dreaming. You dream for a week and you stop because things around you don't look good. You dream for a month, then when you get hit in the mouth, you quit and you give up. You dream for a while, and when people tell you crazy, when people tell you stupid, and when people tell you can never get done, you stop dreaming and you go back to knowledge. And I dare you to use your imagination.
There are going to be days where you do not feel like
doing anything. Those days are going to be there no matter what path you take.
We have two voices in our mind. It's that one voice. It's that soft motherfucker. That soft motherfucking voice that says, sleep the fuck in. It's okay.
You can take the day off saying you don't need to go hard.
It's that coddling voice. You want to be hugged and nurtured and all that shit.
That voice, that nagging voice of weakness, the one that tells you to back off, to simmer down, to take it easy. When you hear that voice, tell it no. Tell it to sit down and be quiet.
Suppress that voice. You got another voice in your head that's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you be? What could you be? What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
Because that pain that you are feeling is the test.
This is a test. This is the day I'm going to find out if my goals really are my goal.
Michael Jordan, they call it the flu game. He still scored more than the average dude with the flu. Even when you got the flu and you playing other champions, you still score more than they score because you've learned how to dominate. And you need that same mentality.
I'm talking about looking yourself in the mirror, looking yourself in the eye and saying, I'm going to dominate today better than any other day. Learn how to get excited when that feeling creeps in of, I don't want to do it. And when those test days become something that you live for, something you look forward to, now you're talking about a whole different level of mindset. You're talking about unstoppable force of nature that cannot be with.
Mental toughness is the ability to resist, to manage, overcome doubt, overcome worries, overcome concerns, overcome circumstances that prevent most people from succeeding or performing under pressure. Every human being that is not successful versus every human being that's successful, the only difference between them is mental toughness. One group, when they come up against trials and tribulations, they shrink. One group of people, when they come up against a recession, they shrink. Weak-minded people, they buckle, they complain, they look for every excuse. But mentally tough people, we saw the storm and we pull on our surfboard and we begin to surf on the waves that drown most people.
You have to understand that your greatest commodity, not your shoes, not your car, not your clothes, it's your mind. Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. I don't care what's happening, you have to control it. When you leave, what you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ? Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank. When they don't have no more. When it's over. When they're tired. When they're frustrated. When they're ready to give up. When they spent their last dime. That's when they get started. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money. When all your energy gone. That's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way. When you find breath that you don't have. When you find energy that did not exist. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe. That's when you find a way.
Everybody know what to do when everything goes right. Everybody know to show up and give everything they got when the sun shines. Everybody, when they get what they want, they're gonna come and they're gonna be great. But there's very few people that reach deep down and got the character that in the midst of opposition, in the midst of a challenge, to look at it with the right perspective, and not only look at it with the right perspective, process it the right way and figure out a way to use.
What is it that will make it worth it for you? When you want to give up and things are working against you, to face the rejection. What is it that will make it worth it for you? To brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this. What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me, when you want to keep driving past the office because of the stress? What is it that will help you get back up again?
Some of us choose to stay down, but it's that motherfucker who constantly gets up as fast as they can. Those are the motherfuckers that make it in life.
All you do is fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again. That's how you win.
You've got to activate the thinker in you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. You want to monitor your inner conversation, the things that you say to yourself. You want to watch them, and in watching them, you want to take charge. Oh, you really don't feel like it. You really don't need to do it. Forget all that. That's that inner conversation. Oh, you don't need to worry about trying to go into your own business. Forget that. You can't do that. What if you lose everything you've got? That inner conversation that stopped you from doing the things you want to do less, don't do that. Forget all that. And then I said, shut up. You'll get scared sometimes. Your mind will go blank on you. You got to learn to stand up for yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. Some people you will allow to unnerve you. You can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. Shut up. I have got to do it. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself, working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue. It will determine the quality of your life. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you, because there's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no harm. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach.
You're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you.
You have been disappointed over and over and over again. And every time you try, nobody notices. And every time you try, you come up short. Sickness is cyclical. It comes around, it goes around. You're well for a little while, and then it's the same thing all over again, but this time it's only worse. Because now, not only are you back where you started, but you have less hope that it is ever going to be different, because you've cycled through it one more time just to realize, well, I guess I'm just a cynical person. Well, I guess I'm just a negative person. I guess nobody in my family was meant to go to college. Sickness becomes normal to you, and it starts to be easier for you to just accept the condition than to challenge it. Because to challenge the condition means to risk disappointment. And some of us have tried, got blocked, tried, got blocked, tried, got blocked. And now people see you and they assume that you don't care. No, I care. I cared, and I cared so much, but they didn't care back. And I tried so hard, and I still got looked over. And don't you know it's hard when your expectation has been damaged by disappointment? It's a slow damage. It's a slow tearing of the muscle fibers. It's a slow deterioration of your hope by disappointment. It is not one event that creates it. It's over and over. I tried, and I tried, and I smiled, and I stayed, and I disciplined, and I showed up, and I didn't care. And the man has finally gotten to a place where he is tired of trying.
You might even feel like there's no hope, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Keep fighting. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but that doesn't happen on its own. You have to choose to get stronger. Keep fighting, keep going, and don't give up, because the only real failure is actually giving up. And if you don't give up, you will win.
See, life is rough, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough. Things that's going to happen to you in life, ladies and gentlemen, make it okay. I can't change how I respond to it. I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay. Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You are powerful. You direct the power in your life. Whatever your life is right now, it is a duplication of your consciousness. It's a result of how you have decided to use your power. That's all it is. That's not who you are. That's just a perverted use of your power that you aren't satisfied with. And you've got the power to change that. But you don't know what has happened to me. It really doesn't matter what has happened to you. See, the only thing that really matters is, what are you going to do about it? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. That no matter what you do to me, how cold and callous you are to me, lack of compassion, lack of sensitivity, how cruel you might be to me, you're not going to change me.
There are some things that I went through this year that I didn't like. There are some things that I went through this year that hurt. They hurt like hell. I'm not saying that I would have chosen them if I had had the opportunity. But now that I've been through it, there is something that I learned through what I went through that made me who I am. There's a purpose for it.
I'm not a hostage. You have to make a decision that every experience is my education. I'm going to discover the opportunity for me to grow and for me to get better. I'm telling you, I've already made up my mind that I know I will fall down. I know that I will stumble, but I already see myself getting back up. Therefore, I'm never down. I'm either up or getting back up. I will learn from this thing.